Hi, what's up? And if you guys did not watch the stream yesterday, I had to quit out, which means whenever I quit out, I have to sim the game that I quit out of by accident. So, well, I didn't quit out by accident. I didn't have time to finish the game. So my rule is if I have to quit out of a game, I have to sim it. So therefore, we are going to sim the Cincinnati game, and we get the win 4-2. Um, so we still win. Yesterday we were up big anyway, I think. So we still got the win, but just a matter of that. So are just gonna take a look at a quick little. It doesn't say who homered, does it? Oh, Buxton, Dozier, and Morrison homered. All right. And then pitching wise, Odorizzi pitched well. All right, cool. That's what I know. So we will head into this game against Toronto in just a minute. But first, just let me copy the link in case anyone wants to watch here. Okay, I copied the link. Alright, so, yeah, here we go. If anyone wants to watch my Twins play all. Alright, so after that game, I do think it said that Brian Dozier homered, Byron Buxton homered. Yes. Alright, Brian Dozier had 9 home runs. He now has 9 homers. I forget who else homered. Logan Morrison did. Right. Alright, there is one thing I do want to do. Brandon Phillips has been good. The thing is, he can only play one position, which I do not need, and he is starting to regress. So sadly, actually, first off, let me see if I can make a trade for Brandon Phillips. If anyone even wants him. Anyone want prospects for Brandon Phillips? How about MLB ready players for Brandon Phillips? Alright, yeah, no. No one really wants Brandon Phillips. It's fair enough. Alright, so as good as Brandon Phillips has been with the 1 home run 3 RBIs, he is batting 3.33 coming off the bench. He doesn't really fit a role, as I need a guy who can play the multiple positions, which is why I'm actually gonna call up Taylor Featherson now. We're gonna promote him to the MLB. Welcome back to the team. I don't think he was actually on it, was he? Taylor Featherson? No, I mean he struggled in his MLB career so far, but it's alright. And then if we do take a look, obviously we still do have Ryan LaMera here, who has struggled over the course of his career. Although I think he's doing okay this year, right? No, he's not. He only has 1 hit. Never mind. Ryan LaMera. Is this Tanner English? Oh, he sucks. Alright. So we are gonna hop into this Toronto game. It says Henderson Alvarez is pitching. If he actually is, I don't know. This game, you guys have seen what this game has done. And the reason why is because now the lineup got messed up. So now I gotta go and fix the lineup. Right-handed pitcher versus DH. I mean, right-handed pitcher which DH with DH. I gotta read this lineup now. Hang on. Oh no, why? Because on my Mets thing, I put everything on auto, so I want everything back onto manual except for scouting. Scouting can go auto. Agency manual, contracts I want everything on manual, yeah. That's why. Alright, apply changes. Everyone that I still want is still on the lineup, still on the team, right? Yep. Alright, so right-handed pitcher versus DH. I think I wanted as well to Arcia. There, and then Arcia is still playing there, and then left-handed pitcher DH. I wanted Logan Morrison, or was that? We can keep Featherson there actually, because he can hit home runs against lefties, so I'm not gonna change that up. Alright, so then now let me read the lineup now. Corey Polanco I want batting last. No, second it was that. third, it was Eddie Rosario. But honestly, I'd rather keep Eddie Rosario to the end now. I'd rather go with this lineup. And then Gary third, Miguel Sano fourth, Mike Moustakas fifth, Oswaldo Arcia sixth, seventh Eddie Rosario, eighth Max Kepler, 9 Jorge Polanco. I do like that a lot, actually. Then right-handed pitcher, no DH. I'm fine. And then left-handed pitcher, DH. I want Buxton. Once again, Jorge Polanco is batting last, and I want Taylor Featherston there. And then Eddie Rosario there. Sixth would be, sixth would be the DH there. Wait, so who would be batting? Eighth would be Max Kepler, but oh, that's right. Oswaldo Arcia plays right field against lefties, so Arcia. Where's the right field batting here? He's batting eighth, so we'll bat Arcia this, and then that's fine with me, right? Actually, I want Dozier there. I want Sano, Mike Moustakas, and then Arcia, and then Rosario. And that looks good for lefties. Alright. Now we will head into this game since I redid the lineup, and now it's looking really good. Alright, Alvarez is pitching, and then Miguel Sano could use a break here. The whole reason actually why though I called up Featherston is just that way he can be like a bench guy. So we will actually go do this, and then coming in, it's a lefty though. Who has power against lefties? Mitch Garver, I guess. Not really. I was calling Logan Morrison, and we'll let Logan Morrison roll DH for Miguel Sano, and then we'll bat Featherston fourth because he has some better power against lefties. There we go. That's the whole reason why. Oh well, I'll figure it out as we move along. Anyway, Jose Barrios is actually on the mound. That's good. Like I said, this rotation's like messed up, but it'll come back. Whoever is pitching is pitching. As we have started to run away with the division, Royals 6 games back. Cleveland is 7 games back. I think there's another one 7 games back. But anyway, Jose Barrios on the mound. In 5 starts, he has a 1-1 record with 4.63 ERA and 23.1 innings. He's allowed 22 hits, walked 3, and struck out 20. As Josh Harrison, the Toronto Blue Jays leading off here, was traded earlier this season to Toronto, as he will start it off with a ground out to Brian Dozier for the first out of the inning, as Kevin Pillar is batting second, normally the leadoff man, but since they have Harrison, he's not the leadoff man, as the two-seam will go for a ball. They're turning this 2-1 count. And Pillar still extremely good players. That one will go off Barrios, and Barrios will be late on the throw, so Pillar will get in there with the single to make this, alright, to get the first hit of the day for the Jays. Now the 1-1 count to power hitting third baseman Josh Johnson, as he won't get power on this one. It will actually be popped up, and catching it is Jose Barrios for the second inning, as Justin Smoke power hitting first base, hitting 6 home runs on the year. A little bit under production, as this one will be hit to Brian Dozier, who will get the last out, as we will now head bottom one with Buxton, Dozier, and Gary Sanchez up. As Jaime Garcia is pitching today for Toronto. In 5 starts, he has a 3-2 record. It's a 3.99 ERA. He's pitching 29.1 innings, allowed 28 hits, walked 13 to struck out 26 with a 1.40 whip. As Byron Buxton homered in yesterday's game, batting 3 home runs, 8 RBIs, and 238 on the year. Also leads the team in stolen bases as it is a 1-0 count to Buxton, as Buxton will get a hold of this ball, but it looks like it is going to be caught by the right fielder in Randall Grichuk. Now up is Brian Dozier with 9 home runs, 20 RBIs on the year, batting .273. Dozier has cooled down tremendously, but still a very good hitter, as he will foul off the two-seamer to keep the count at 1-2. And all of his power really comes against lefties, so definitely has a chance to go deep here against Jaime Garcia. As Dozier will foul off the changeup there. as the count will remain 1-2. As Dozier will send this one back to Randall Grichuk for the second out. Grichuk getting some early work out there in the field, as that will bring up Gary Sanchez, who has 9 home runs, 22 RBIs, and is batting .326 on the year. As the pitch to Gary Sanchez. Sanchez will foul off the changeup that he probably should have taken. Garcia only on 11 pitches so far. As the pitch from Jaime. As Gary won't be a good play there by the shortstop. It's going to be a tough throw, and Gary does beat it out for the first hit from the Twins. Good play there by the shortstop and Troy Tulowitzki with the Jeter hop, but could not get it over in time. As that will now bring up Taylor Featherson, who is making his first at-bat on the season. Some solid power against lefties. Spent the first month in the minors, called up after the release of Brandon Phillips because he was only a one-position player. Featherson can give you everywhere in the infield besides first base, but they have Logan Morrison for that, as Featherson will foul this one off to keep the count at 1-2. And Featherson does actually have some pretty solid power as well. He can take pitchers deep when needed, as he will swing on and miss on the two-seam there. But I'm surprised that he's making his season to debut at basically batting cleanup. But anyways, the 0-2 count down to Jervis Solarte, who's up, as he will get a hold of this one on the 0-2 count from Barrios, as Byron Buxton will get underneath it for the first out here in the top of the second. So I'll now bring up Randall Grichuk, who is working 5 home runs, 14 RBIs, batting .239. Barrios, I believe, has like a 7-day rest. Barrios has not really pitched in a while, as this one is taken by Grichuk, and getting on the move and catching it is Eddie Rosario, the surprise twin slugger here. As that will bring up Troy Tulowitzki, .244 a batting average, batting 2 home runs and 10 RBIs. Working the 1-1 count on Jose so far. As the pitch from Jose, the changeup will get in there for a called strike to make the count now 1-2, as Barrios comes back here with the pitch, as that fastball will be hit by Troy Tulowitzki to Oswaldo Arcia, who's playing right field today. So due up as we head to the mid-second, Moustakas, Arcia, and Rosario are due up from Minnesota, as Moustakas will lead off here bottom second, batting .276 with 6 home runs and 15 RBIs. As the pitch here from Jaime Garcia, the 1-1 count, as Moustakas will foul off the changeup there to make this a 2-1 count. As Moustakas will swing on and miss the slider. So that will be Oswaldo Arcia now with 11 home runs, leading the Twins along with 20 RBIs, and he is batting .294. 0-2 count is what he loves to hit home runs on, is the 0-2 count, as he will take the 4-seam fastball there for a ball to make this one a 1-2 count. As Jaime Garcia is only at 22 pitches so far. It's the 1-2 count from Garcia to Arcia, and Arcia will hit a slow one, and Troy Tulowitzki with the shift makes the play. As I now due up is Eddie Rosario, who is hitting 8 home runs along with 19 RBIs, batting .245. As the 1-2 count now to Eddie Rosario, he takes the two-seam there for a ball to make this a 2-2 count. This Twins team has honestly probably been overperforming, and when they struggled against the good teams, they went out and got Mike Moustakas as well as Gary Sanchez to help them play better. As then now the pitch, as Rosario will get a hold of this one, but sadly it is high and it will be caught by Kevin Pillar. So the additions of Sanchez and Moustakas should even get the Twins into an automatic ALDS, unless the Indians completely start to heat up and the Twins start to completely fold. I don't think this Twins team is going to be a wild card team, as the hit there from, that's not Russell Martin, he's too fast. Who was that? I don't know who that is, but now up is Russell Martin, batting 5 home runs, 12 RBIs. Power hitting catcher there for Toronto. As Martin gets a hold of this one, can Byron Buxton get over there in time? No, he cannot. As coming around to score is Toronto, and they will score. So an RBI double for Russell Martin as Toronto takes the lead. So Josh Harrison now leading off here. No out. One man on, and he's on second base as Harrison now will ground this one out. If the throw gets over there in time, yes it does. So 1 out now for Toronto. As Kevin Pillar is now batting .216 with 1 home run and 5 RBIs. Pillar surprisingly struggling this year as the 4-seam will for a ball there to make this count 2-1. As Berrios now pitches the changeup, as this one will be grounded to the third baseman and Tyler Featherson for the second out. He's actually not playing DH today. He's playing third base. Logan Morrison's the DH. Featherson subbing in, giving Sano's a day rest. As a 1-1 count now to Josh Donaldson. That one gets in there for a strike to make this count 1-2. As the pitch now from Berrios to Donaldson, the 4-seam goes for a ball there. Make this count 2-2. As Jose Berrios now with the fastball yet again. This one is now a 3-2 count. Berrios hitting 93 on this fastball as that 2-seam fastball is fouled off by Donaldson. As Berrios now brings the heat, this fastball is fouled off once again as well, 3-2 count. As Berrios now with the changeup, he gets Donaldson to swing and miss. Berrios with his first strikeout of the game. However, the Twins do take a 1-0 lead after Russell Martin's RBI double, in which Byron Buxton couldn't get over. As Logan Morrison is batting 4 home runs, 5 RBIs, along with a 3.21 batting average, I do believe. He is leading off here, bottom 3, as the pitch from Jaime Garcia to Logan Morrison, as this one is hit deep, but making the play is Randall Grichuk, just having to move a little bit over to his right and back, as that will bring up Jorge Polanco, 3 home runs, 16 RBIs for the 9-hole hitter. As the 2-1 count to Jorge from Jaime, as Jorge will foul this one off. Count now at 2-2. And once again, Polanco fouls off this changeup, keeping the count at 2-2. As the pitch here from Jaime, Jorge Polanco takes the changeup there for a ball to make this count 3-2, with obviously the 1 out. And Polanco will ground this one to Troy Tulowitzki, who makes the play for the second out. As that will bring off the number 1 hole hitter, Byron Buxton, who flew out in the first. If he can get on base, he can work his way around the bases to get in scoring position, as Polanco will completely swing and miss on the slider. Excellent slider there from Jaime Garcia to make this count 1-2. In the pitch here from Jaime, he will take the 2-seam there for a ball to keep the count at 2-2. And Buxton doesn't really get a good play on the ball, but it doesn't matter as Buxton's speed beats it out. So that will bring up Brian Dozier, who's batting .270. Not good contact is what I meant to say. As that will bring up Brian Dozier now. That's the pitch from Jaime, and Buxton will be out by a mile. Buxton attempted to steal, and that will be the end of the inning now, with Justin Smoak leading off your top 4 for Toronto, as Jose Berrios, the 0-2 count to Smoak, as this one will be fouled off. Berrios with 36 pitches, so not completely getting work, which is good news for the Twins, whose bullpen is a little bit depleted. As we take a look, it is a little bit depleted. I mean, you can pitch Rogers and Hildenberger as well as Presley if you really need, and Gibson. But then Reed and... Never mind, their bullpen's not completely depleted. They have like three pitchers 4 pitchers that you can pitch. Is that curveball? What a curveball there by Barrios to get it in for his second strikeout of the game. As that will bring up Jan Jervis Solarte. Flew out, I do believe, back in the third. So that will bring up now a 1-1 count to Solarte. As that curveball gets in there for a strike. Barrios pitches an amazing curveball. As then now the 1-2 count to Solarte. As this one will be grounded. Play made by Featherson as he'll throw it over to first base for the second out of the inning. As now coming up at the plate is Randall Grichuk, 0 for 1 so far with the line out in the second inning. As the fastball now coming from Barrios, that one will be fouled off by Grichuk. 1-2 count. The 1-2 pitch, as that fastball is fouled off by Grichuk. This is not what the Twins want to see now. As they're getting off foul balls as Grichuk rises this one. It's going, and it will be gone. Randall Grichuk with the solo shot to make this a 2-1 game. Or 2-0 game, my bad. 400-foot home run for Grichuk. So that will bring up Troy Tulowitzki now. The 2-2 count to Troy. As the changeup there will be lifted by Troy. And Byron Buxton will get underneath it. So the solo shot by Randall Grichuk will make this a 2-run game, 2-0, as we will head bottom 4. Twins need to get some runs going, and this is a perfect guy to start off the inning. Brian Dozier working a 1-2 count. Obviously was up last inning, but Byron Buxton with the stolen base didn't allow Dozier to get a hit off because he was caught stealing. As Dozier will foul this one, or pop this one up, I should say, in foul territory. And the catcher, Russell Martin, makes the plays. That will now bring up Gary Sanchez working a 1-1 count on Jaime Garcia's the pitch to Gary, and Gary will ground this one to the third baseman as this throw is off the mark, and Gary Sanchez will get in there safely for a base hit. Actually, they rule it as an error, as that will now bring up Taylor Featherson, the number 4 hole hitter. The 1-1 count from Garcia to Featherson. As Featherson will ground this one, and they turn 1 and they turn 2. So that will be the end of the inning for Minnesota, as they are still down by 2. As Teoscar Hernandez got a double and a run. He was the first run that scored, as it will be a 2-1 count now to Hernandez. As that fastball will go high to make this count 3-1. As the pitch here from Barrios, the 3-1 count gets Teoscar Hernandez swing and miss on the fastball there to make the count 3-2. And then now Barrios comes with the 2-seam fastball. This one is hit by Hernandez, as that will be caught by Byron Buxton for the first out of the inning. As now up is Russell Martin, obviously brought in Hernandez for the first run, as Martin will hit this one, and it will not be caught by Dozier. And Martin will get in there safely for a base hit. As now up is Josh Harrison, the leadoff man, grounded out twice so far today. As Jose Barrios now the 1-1 count. Harrison will foul this one off to make the count 1-2. It's a pitch here from Jose. Harrison will get this one down for a base hit, as Buxton will throw it to Featherson at third, and Martin will hold at second. So runners now on first and second with 1 out. So all Toronto really needs to do is turn 2. As warming up in the bullpen now is Taylor Rogers and Trevor Hildenberger, which I do have to completely redo this then again. But yeah, no, Rogers and Hildenberger is warming up in the bullpen, as it is a double steal, as Martin is attempting home, as Arcia throws it in, and Martin will get in to score, as it will now be a 3-run lead for Toronto with runners on second and third. So now the pitch to Donaldson, the changeup will go for a ball there. Jose Barrios now struggling, as the 2-1 count, the curveball gets in there for a strike, 2-2. As the pitch here from Jose, Donaldson gets a hold of this one, but will it be foul? Yes, it will. So Barrios just escapes. They are talking about it, and they do rule it foul. So Barrios just escapes an absolute disaster there, as Donaldson will swing and miss on the curveball for Barrios' 3rd strikeout of the game. As Justin Smoke now 0 for 2. He is working a full count on Jose Barrios. As Barrios brings the heat, this one will be grounded to the second baseman and Brian Dozier as the out is made. So Toronto does take a 3-0 lead. As leading off here for the Twins is Mike Moustakis. Twins offense really needs to get something going, especially with all of their power hitters. As the 1-1 count from Jaime to Mike Moustakis, as Moustakis will ground this one into the shift. That is Troy Tulowitzki making the play for the first inning. As now up is Oswaldo Arcia, the power hitting outfielder slash DH. All of his power is really against righties, but he can still take lefties deep. As Jaime now with the pitch, and Arcia will take the slider there for a strike to make this count 1-2. As Arcia now takes the high two-seam for a ball, as the count will now drop to 2-2. So now Jaime Garcia with the 2-2 pitch to Oswaldo Arcia. As Arcia will get a hold of this one and he'll get it down for a base hit.
Anytime Alexis takes that pitch on the outer third and drives it the other way, you have to be awfully impressed. Yeah, you have to be. It reminds me of Will Clark back in the day taking that ball the other way. You have to be able to play with the whole field to have success in the big league. Riding in once again, Eddie Rosario. 0 for 1.
So with that base hit, that'll bring up now Eddie Rosario working the 1-1 count. Rosario definitely can take Garcia deep, so that changeup is fouled off. Now the pitch here, as Rosario will not get a hold of this ball. This will be caught by Kevin Pillar out there in center field. So I'll bring up now Logan Morrison. Not so much power here against lefties, but still a good hitter as the 0-2 count now, and Morrison will pop this one up. I don't even know why he swung at that, but he did. So Toronto gets out of the inning.
One left for Minnesota. Still down 3-0.
As Jose Barrios will remain in the game with Solarte now leading off for Toronto. The 1-1 count to Yangervis Solarte. Barrios with his curveball gets that one in there for a strike to make this count 1-2. Now the 1-2 count as Barrios will get the four-seam to be swung on and miss for his fourth strikeout of the game, or his third? His fourth strikeout of the game. Now the 2-1 count to Randall Grichuk, as that four-seam will be fouled off. As Jose Barrios now with the changeup 2-2, and he will get that in there for a strike for his fifth strikeout of the game. So Jose Barrios struggled last inning, and has now struck out his first two batters here, top six, as he will strike out Troy Tulowitzki, as also Jose Barrios comes back and strikes out the side. Now this Twins team needs to give him some run support, as Jorge Polanco now up. As they say, Jorge Polanco will go around and swing and miss. So that's the first out. So I'll bring up Byron Buxton. Now the 1-1 count to Buxton from Jaime, as Buxton will take this two-seam there for a ball to make this count 2-1. What they really need to do now is get the pen for Toronto into the game. It's not good. They don't have Osuna. I don't know what happened with Osuna. I gotta go and check that honestly. But they don't have Osuna. They don't have a good pen. So what the Twins really need to do is get the pen in the game. As that two-seam there goes for Jaime is only on 66 pitches. he has okay stamina, so he probably will be taking out soon. Is anyone even warming up in their bullpen or no? I don't even think so. So now the 3-1 count as Buxton will foul this one off to make this a full count here. As Buxton now gets this one down for a base hit.